Ake e kumana tu Lo se e kungo e kapu Ala hape anganga tu Kau lewa I he waha folau Oh baby he I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me ongo e wa mama o Oh baby he I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me aho e amo e po Uoto oa a hoku loto O oto o ngā whakawale loto He I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me ongo e wa mama o Oh baby he I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me aho e amo e po E mai baby he aho mo e po Sia mai baby whakawale loto E mai baby he aho mo e po Sia mai baby whakawale loto Whakaumi noa Le mai a hani kaunonga Ka fosi o kuloto Wisata koe whakapo Oh baby he I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me ongo e wa mama o Oh baby he I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me aho e amo e po Uoto oa a hoku loto O oto o ngā whakawale loto He I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me ongo e wa mama o Oh baby he I ka I la vake ke ngalo Me aho e amo e po E mai baby he aho mo e po Sia mai baby whakawale loto E mai baby he aho mo e po Sia mai baby whakawale loto E mai baby he aho mo e po Sia mai baby whakawale loto E mai baby he aho mo e po Sia mai baby whakawale loto
Paenga o Letio Vake Tali Folau. Ai whakawhehoko anga o Tonga I he kolope. This is Radio Vake Tali Folau, where Tongans can connect globally.
Fiona ma whawhita ea tu koe awha ko loa koe ni kulau ke maua o sia. O ko mau i heni ke hiki ai pēa langi o e a Fiona. Koe whai mea lava mo i whai mea ola ko ke whakahaa ke lotonga o haa tangata. O ko mau whamalo ke a Fiona koe tauhi malu pēa mo i tauhi hao. Kulawa ke maua o sia i he ahoni pēa mi he ngahi pāhenga pēa koe ngahi whonua ke he koto a pē. O kuhanga i he Polokalama o whakawhihoko taki a ki mautolu i he lea, pia mau whi ilongaki ai, pia mau maheni ai, pia mau tuu whakataha ke mautokoni, ke langa hake hanga he ngā ue langa whonua, ki he ki motu kono muka, i he otu muamua. E ke kumawha malo ke a whiana koe taki hala, na ke whakahoko ke mau mo ui. Mawha malo lahi ke a whiana e tamai, ko ngahi lelei ko tā pēnei lama ke mau au sia. Na mau ilo ina ke mau hanu, pe te mau launga, ka mau ilo ko ke te teu iha ngahi whainga tā alahi ke mau whepaki mo ia, ke a ko ia e mau mo ui ki he whaakataki, ke a ko ia e mau mo ui ke hanga mokomoko, ke a ko ia e mau mo ui ke mau wanga whakatoki lalo. Tama he wani mau kore whakamorimori ke a whiona, ko mau ngahi tōnou nou, mo mau ngahi whihala ki o hasino ke a whiona i he aho ko toa pe na a moi miniti ko toa pe i he mau mo ui. Mau whamalo lahi ke a whiona ko ngahi tāpuaki mo ngahi lelei ko toa pe o ulawa ke tawhe i he wahe mo e ofa pia mo e nasi aki ke a usia he ki motu i ha pai i he otu momo a ai ngahi lelei mo ngai manu ia kulava ke mau ausia ke mau vahe ia ko ngai ko mama ia mo ngahi ako whakautua ko ke hanga tokonia a ke mau mo ui. Mau kore ke awhiona ke tāpoi ki nange mua ke mau tolu, tāpoi ki nange ai ka inga i ngahi vai whonua hano ko tāpe. Ko hinga ko fia pia mo neke neka, ko hinga ko whakaola o ngā weni na e lau i tau pia lau i tau tangata hono whakaamua. Ka koe ahoni i ho mawhai, pia i ho malohi, pia i ho langlangi. Ko ke whakaola ai ngā weni. Pia ko ia o ko mau haka e mo hiki whawhita ia i peke awhiona i hengai mea hono ko toa pe. Mau kore ke awhiona ke tataki mau tolu ke te teo e katoa ngani ke mau mao haloto mau lalo. Ke mau mao haulunganga whakalaisi. Pia ke mau hoko ko mama. Ke hani ike. I he tai miu a mana ke mau o atuai ke ki motuni pe koe ki whanua koe ni. Ke mau whakailonga ai. Ai kuna ka whakafa. Ko whakaola he awhiona ke ngā weni. Mau kore ke awhiona ke toka mua ho merino. Pia toka mua mo malu. Ai ngahi alo ofa mo ngahi kelesi ai awhiona i he ka inga. Ke fungani aki pe ai ngahi koloa kotoa kai tumu aki pe aho ofa. Mau kore ke awhiona ke toko nia ki mau tolu tapo ki nange Palestini wafu ano muka USA. Tapo ki nange ka inga pia mei motu, tapo ki nange ka inga pia mei tonga, pia pehe ki ngahi whanua ke he kotoa pe. Nā mau pikinima, pia nā mau kau ngā kafo whakataha. I he tauen e ono moi konga o e mau tangi pe mo hui ke awhiona. Mau kore ke awhiona he tamai whamore ki mau tolu. Tali anga e mau huu mo mau kore o whai ke awhiona. Pea ke tau kau ngā whanonga pe me awhiona whakamāmangi ho mau ngahi loto. Pea tuku ke whao ai ofa. Pea tuku ke tuku i hone tuku ngā mana atu. Ai ngahi lelei ko toa peu mau ausia. Pea ke eua nā mangalo. Hei kai ke mau lava o whai ha mea, ka pau hei kai ke kau mai awhiona ki ai. Mau kore ke awhiona ke tau kau ngā whanonga mo awhiona i he Polokalama goe o mana ke ma whakahoko. Ka iaha lea te ma whakahoko, tuku mua ke hanga tataki. Pea tuku mua lau maari e, ke ne whakamawhana e loto i kakai. Ko ngahi Polokalama ko toa pe ko teu, i he ngahi whotutu ko toa pe. O mau korea i pe ho toko ni, he mau ilo o kui kai ke mau momo i lava i ha mea. Eiki koe mau lotu ia mau hake awhiona, pe awa nā mangalo. Ake nau tolo nau tā koto i he moeanga mamahi. Ai ngahi loto whare ko hake e ngahi pe au mo ngai whengata. Mau tanki awhiona ke tā pui kinak nau tolo. Whaka manu ia ai ngahi whotutu mo ngai whenga hana koto ape. Pe tokoni mei ka te mau tolo ke ua nā mauri ake ai awhiona. Ka mau mui pe ke awhiona i he mea hana koto ape. Ke toenga e mau mo ui. Ko mau lotu ia mo mau huu ko hake awhiona he houani. I he loto mau lalo mo oni he hua whasisuka laisi. Amen.
Ai! Ai!
Tamtega te lea, Tapu ke maananga o loto tatau. Ka koe au whato, moe ofa ta iriua, me mama ki itaniti. Tapu ke hao Tonga, King Tupo Wono, ka pehe ke tahine kuina na spau tuku aho. Whatapu ki he pinis kalauni ka koe tumu aki o hama afu. Whatapu ki tahine princess kalauni, princess nai takala tuku aho pia mohona whare, pia moe fuifui lupe o loto palasi. Wa tēnei whatapu makehe, ko hinga ki he hou eiki koto ape, i he pule anga. Ka pehe foki ki he eik pare mia o na pol whawhanua, pia moe kapineti o pule anga Tonga. Wa tēnei whatapu ki a pule tahe atu potoa, mo hamata pule, pia mo haa whaifatongia. Wa tēnei whatapu ki he tangata eik whaifekau, Charlie Wailase, pia mo haa whakaalunga Tonga. Whatapu ki he Palestini o komiti wafu ano muka USA, pia mei Amerikani, pia pehe ki he komiti, pia mo si kau kainga ofa mai, mei he whonua o ikare. O te whatapu ni ke hao atu ki he whakatonga, ki he whanga ino muka pia mo otu momua. Pia pehe ki he kainga koto ape, ni he tapa koto ape o i ope, o kulawa ke mawongona e Polokalama i ngalu e apea moe ope, i he Letio Vake Tali Folau. Ko platform wene o kune whakawhainga maarie, i he ta wene ono moe mahina e ua, me mahina e tolu, e tau whanonga mai i hono teke, mo hono whainga ke tokonia e project wafu, ke lava ke hoko ia, ko tokoni ofi ke kāinga o nau fōu mai i no muka pia moe otu momua, ka tau te whito ke kāinga o nau sifokoutua i no muka, i he lolo tongani. A te whatapu heni ki he tonga koto ape, ke ngahi wāhenga koto ape i Amerikani, pia pehefoki ki he kāinga tonga koto ape, o kai ke ai hao konga pe ko hao pikinga ki no muka, ka nā ke alanima mai o tokoni, lolo tonga e taimi na mau hei wahai, i he ngahi wāhenga, ko hinga ke omiha ki i oko, pe ko haki tulu tā, ke whainga pia moi whakatangi nai whai. Pe ahoni, o tau whawhetai ke Sihova, pe tau whawhetai ke lang tau potu, pia moi langi kilua, ko hinga ko lava ke tau mātaa, pia lava ke tau wakai tonu, ki he ola, pia moi fua, o ngā ue whaiverenga nai lava ke tau whahoko. Koe ahoni o koe whamalolahi ke platform koe ni, koe ngā koe nau loto whie maarie, pa mono whie mea ngā aue ake ak tau tolu, i he lolotonga koe ne tau e ono moi mahina e ua, me mei tolu i he lolotonga ni. O koe aipe whamaloma kehe ke komiti, koe ngā koe nau lava, o tokoni mono whapaanga, ai Polokalama koe ni ke lava ke broadcast, atua i he lea whakatonga, i hiwa whakatonga, i he ngahi ongo, i hono update, o ngahi ngā ua mo ngahi whanongonong ko toa pe o whawhilawe i pia mo project wafu ko i ano muka, a i au iloa koe otu momu ano muka Wolf Project. E ahoni tau whawhita i ka Sihova, pe au tau toi whawhita i ka Sihova i he mea ko toa pe. O kai ke lava, e ho tau loto ke tau hanga o whamalo ia whiunga, ai alo ofa mo i ke resi tau mamao, ko hanga he eiki o tokonia mo whakaivia, ai ngahi tapa ke hikehi ko toa pe. Hono whakalotoa ai kakai na ike aha nau whaamiri pe ko nau pikinga, pe unau ilo ko no muka au tu i whiia. Ka koe ahoni, ko tau sio ki he ola homo ofa. I tangai sima, i fwoi uka mea, i fwoi whao. I he mea ko toa pe, koe ke mau lava ke mau whamatala, ka ko mau ilo, koe alo ofa ia, pe mono hanga he eiki o whakaivia ki mo tolu mo whaka wei homo ngahi loto, ke lava ke mo tokoni, ke ngā ke lava ke whakahoko ke ao, ai whakaamoni, pe koe misi ko ia, ai kāinga na e lau i tō tangata, ka ko lava ke tau mata ia i he lolotongani. Ko tui ko ahoni me Seattle, Washington, ke ahoni no fitu o i mahina ko me, pe neongo ko me, ko taha eni o ngai mahina ko tau tako pehe ko mahina eno family. Ai hui ko osi, na whakamana tua whanau, i he nau lau le soni whakame, ko tui ko taha ia ngai katoa ngā mahu inga o pito, i he ngai whunga waka hano ko toa pe, pa i he sāpate ko tau hanga ki ai, ko sāpate i he whakamana tua ai, asi mo ui, i he tau anga, mo li oa, asi ngai wha e fita hano ko toa pe. O tatau pe ko nau si pekia, pe nau ke lolotonga lau maari e lolotongani, ka koutui o ku ikai ke mangalo, ai nau ngahi tau anga. O koutui ko ahoni, o ku amsia ngak nau tolu, o si ke mo ui e nau ngahi whae, o ku lava ke nau wongona, pe lava ke nau ke mata atonu, ko nau ngahi fofonga. Ka ko ahoni a pe amoha, una loto moha whakaanaua, ke ngai whae ko toa pe, o nau si ke lau maari e. I he tapa ko tau pe o pe, mo tala monu, o whapeke mo ma o hasapa te whae, fia pe a whonu ke resi ia, i he tau whakakoloa ko e ua noa a wano. I he taim tatau pe, o kua e whoke ai ngahi, te ke tawa o ke tau ngahi a whanongongo, mo tau ngahi ongongo, o ko loto pe ke o atu hato e whaka, o whalahi pe a moha, popoak whika o ngā mamahi, ko ngā ko ngahi loto whale ko toa pe, ko si hake ai e ngahi pe au lahi i he lolotongani. Ko tui he ngahi wike ko ni pe ko ngahi lau aho ku tau si tu a me ai, ne si i pekia foki a karistiane i ole whinau. Ko ne hiki whanonga me he lolotongani ki he mama ka hao. Ka ko tui ko taha foki ene o tangata eiki, na e hoko ia koe makaturiki o ka inga koe pe me Amerikani. I he whamiri o otu momoa, pia mo ka inga pia me nomuka. Ko manatu ki he ulaki whakataha koe ni ai wafu i he wanoa tahiwa, ma asi a taha wanoa tahiwa, ne whakahoko e whakataha koe ni ki San Francisco. Pako mautol koe me Seatoni na maulere at ki ai. Na e whakahoko ai whakataha koe ni he wharekai ai hop ko tui o si mea i pehe tō taha ko tā pe. E taimika na mau kamata i koe whakataha koe ni, na ko si ta auto pe me loto o si me ko si ilo me ko e ko tanta iki ne huange po tempo na ne huange mata pa na ku kaila me pe me te pire ko na ku ai iole ha ke ta auto ko le fa mole at he ku tala no fa mata tu an na e loto mama hila he tanta iki ya te au ko nga ko ku ia nge he hingoa ko ia na oskal kala me pe tangata ikia mo ne oskakaila me pe mere koe ko a wia koe ko hingoa o kuia taim ka na ofi me tangata ikia ne pe mai mana tui ko a o ke te ui ho hingoa ia o ko ia ho hingoa ko karistiane fina ko osilili wa ko ki hingoa ko ki hingoa fa tente ne pe no muka pe na talo me ai pa ka mo kui pe karistiane ko karistiane fina ka ko tangata iko ni na si o mai fokia e na molahi pe na lahi pe ne fa no fo mai ki kon ko ti ko no best friend yen pe ko ta haya ngai fo nga na ilo ia tanta e ko ni na usio ke ko tanga e ki anga lele mo ofa mo feto koni mana tu ko ki moto na ne fa e ki rea he blak fa ta ko ni ke fe ngai ke voti te ko loto kai ka kai no muka ke fa ha fe inga ke langa ha waf ki no muka na tua tanga te ko ni o lea mo ne tangi mo ne loto pe ia ke fe mo ai wa fu ke fe mo tu ia o ki ha me la falala pe mo to ke e ki pe lava pe ia ne ngo pa ku hange pe fo ku ma fa kata ki pe ai ha ke pe tanga te ki pe ne ngo ko ma ho ta luma he ko langa wa i ke lava langa wa i ke lava ko te tau te fe nga en pe hange pe wena os palo mesi pe tanga te ki he ne lea ko ia ko foi fe nga ni go e lava pa ko en ko si a pe ki ai pe neongo ko si fola hola e tangata eiki ka ko tui e ki mo a ko pe to ki pe tiktok pe ki a na ne mahi no i pe na ne ilo i pe o ku lele anga we pe ak lele ya me an ko ta pe pe ko osi ya we tu unga ya o nga wa fu ki tu unga ko tu unga lele o ko os mahino e ya we foi langa wa fu ya ko ni se ni kai ke te mo tu ya he kai ke ko ki manat meri ia ko atu ke si tangata e ki peneongo ko si folau hola tangata e ko ni ko i logo ne manatu o si tuku mai pe ke kainga pe pe ke fanga no muka ke te ko ke hofi ai wafu o ko o falahi ki he ai ko tangata e ki fokena ton ke tisi fine feu ya ki ko o falahi ka ton ke tisi pe pe ke fa nau pa mo family hono ko toa ko nga ko e taimi fa ngata ko ni kulava ke tau wa sia he ko ngani e ngahi ko whainga taa o nofo mawai E o neongo vahe tau to he veiri o he mate ka koe tau tui e ai pe taimi te tau toi tu whakatahai ke tau toi whi ilo aki. I he taimi tau pe o kua te hena e ofa pe mo i whika ngā mamahi ke whamiri wai lase. Ai koe waifi pe koe ofa anga eni o whewhikau Charlie wai lase. O kuna kai ke te hanga o we i he ngahi wike koe ni ko ngā koe si pe kia hono waifi fita. Pe i hene pehe rewa o ko whenga pe ke o whahoko atu pe o wau koe pe koe konga koe une si whahoko i he taimi o ku introduction e tau Polokalama koe ni ki he wafu. O whātu ki he whamiri, ki am ke whanau, ki a Maria mo tuenga whanau, pe fo ke tanta eik whewhekau, pe mo e whekau ngā mamahe koutu i neongo ho tau loto, he ko heu loto ki hoko mai ma te heu ni hanga vai tu ua e tau whanonga, ka koe ahoni, ko motu e ngahi a kau kakala, o i whanga i nomu ka pia mo e otu momu a, koe whewhine eiki i hanga lelei mo ni eni ko manatu pena i e Polokalama e taha e wafu, na e tui tuko taha ni whine eiki tui, o nanau nofo ki ela e Ontario, California, koe whi foki eni tā la e tupenu mga mea ko maa foki mea. Na ne tui mai o mono o mai ke tokoni ke ngahi Polokalama koe ano muka, hange koe ngahi pare ke taimi koe na tau whalere mai ngahi lulu, na tau nane o mai e upare koe ni koe umono, O lulu i pe ia, o skapa toki mahino koe koe ne maupa toki posi ke toko taha koe ia ke state ko nofo ai. Ka koutu koe ahoni utatala noa pe he ofa ma tata pe a eiki. O mai pe ka te tau tol ke tau mo ui, pa koe pe hono te palo mesi, e iai pe aho e ngatai e tau mo ui. Kai ke tau to e mao e tau sino mo vai un mao ho tau sino whamaterie ka te tau mao pe ai hui pe mo kakano o te wai ki ho tau sino toi tu. Ko tu ke ahonia pe mo hono a ngahi whakamalo pe aku mahino pe ia o ku pau pe ke tau whepaki mo ngai whaingata a mo ngai haa o e lolo tongani. Ho ek pe me ka inga ko tu ko e whaingamari e ko ni lava ke mama aku ko honga ia o pito ki ho ko hosi a honi me se invehe ki te sika ka koe tau technician. Ko ngā koe ngai whinga o e aki ko tau pe o lava ke whakahoko pe pe hefo ke komiti ko nau tokone o whane Polokalama koe ni ke lele atu pe ia koe mahalo ko te teu ke tau si Folau ki Tonga e ki pōsia e Polokalama ka lewe ke tau toi foki mai ke o atu hawhamaloho ke si kaing au whakato ape o ka hiri a Polokalama koe ni ki he huwhi koe ni o wafu. Ko whakatulou atu pe, o ku mea i pe he Tonga pe a moe kainga hana koto ape, koe wafu foku a manaki ke hopoki ia i he ahtolu o siulai i no muka. Pe a i hene pe he, ko tui pe ko tui whakatulou atu pe, na ko te ngutu tamlea, ka ko a manaki ke whakaola ngā aweni he tamatu i o Tonga, ko King Tupo Wono. I he ngahi aha o si i koe ni ko o si na i no muka foke waka koe sotia, i he savea e kau sotia pe pe foke marini ki he wafu. I hono whakapapau i ai loloto mo e ngahi measurement pe he e pena nauhanga o whakapapau i ke mahino ko ngā ko te teu koe ni ke huwhi e wafu mo ngai Polokalama whai e ki ua manake whakahoko pe anai kawa i hene nau savea ki he awhio anga o e tama. Ai a koe ne tū koe lolotonga ni hange he e kusio atu a akuia ke nau savea hange e tū uen i ho whono. Ka neongo ia o malawa bea ke o wai hoko. Ka koe anga pe e kusio atu a koe he na nau sio ke ngai sait kehe. Ka koutui pe te nau i anga nau savea ko tui koe lele i taha a e whanga ko ho whono. I ahoni be pe me ino muka o lotonga lele at pe foki ai ngahi ngā ue. Tata te whito en ke ngai ngā ue langa. Pe me ino muka i he aho ua ko o si ko wakai atu ke Folau ai uwaka koe ni ki hapai. Alo tā make au pito uksi atu ki he tahi hou au pito tahi kana e lava pe ai malau whito ni mā ka pe he ki he alo ke resio au ki niua ka pe he foke waka koe ni o tōwha ai takai pōmana. Ko sike he loto lahi koe ai kau ngā wese ni. Kau ngā koe waka, lele pena o tolu e he hako. Ka koutui, mana tu e tau keiange pe kau pai late ia o senike o seni. Tau siat fuku ta tau i rifia, kai kehe, koe ahoni fuku tak tahai pia no tau kei hono mala Ka o sia bea o stonu pe na fa to ana to ta na to me na savea e na fa fofua ke angi tonga iki e matangi mo dai me o te ka matangi o angi whaka toke lau hahake o mahino i pe na tolo pe hange ko e ngahi whaunga motu a o ngahi kuonga ki moa ai wakai pe koe ki he langi ko tu ka konga maho inga ko ni te tau foki lewa ke tau Polokalama ka te ke tau au ke tau Polokalama ke no whai ki atu e tau ngahi Polokalama e tau ngahi palani e tau ngahi whakotutu ko toa pe ko tu ka konga lahe Polokalama ko no tau whahau ko ta te whito ke kainga ko pe Amerikani Hawaii i kau ke ai pe mo Alaska kai ke te hanga mautolo o ai ke te fufu i ha mea ka e ko mea pe ata to se inta os maheni ki ai on the air ko mea ka toa pe alot pe he a ko hanga ke mahino he ka se ni o kai ke te puke he komiti ha foi fa matala pe ko ai ke te fufu i ko nga he pe he mo pe ka ko te pe ko ha o ga ngai mea ko ke fa ho ko ia pe ka te ke wa o ke foi ko nga ko ia o ko te ata pe fa manatu ko ni ko nga pe ai ofa mo fe ka nga mama he ke fo ha Evelyn tofa vaha Wolfgram na si pe kia pe mo no foha i Los Angeles e vahenga ko LA o ka ofa lahi ka Evelyn ka pe fo ki family pe mo kainga e time whainga ta ako ni tau sio ke whiongo ake mate se in malo pe tau ke hao na mo palani ko ke o ki no muka ke hufu afu se in hei ilom hate umate pe mena ka tu te ki whai o ia se in ofa da pita ke si fofonga Evelyn si ke lau maari pe Evelyn ko tu o si ofia ma hape pas he ta val ngo fulu a no ta motu a na ku fe lock be mo Evelyn i se atoni na si lava mai ke me fa ko ia o e fefekau a tuku nga manatu maile aya ko e miktanga fokia ofa maile ko e ofifinde ia o pilito fa va ka ko e to hono to fefinde foke o pili a Evelyn ko ia e hahoni ko tui ko ngahi taftafa aki pe ia ku lava ke whamanatu atu ko tui na sia ngahi peki at ki mua ne o sianga pe o whakaongo atu i he Polkalamani ko ngā ke si mea i pe he ngahi kup whekau aki hono kotoa pe o ke si ngalo hata pe ka pao si ngalo hata wata kore whamore more i he taimta tau pe o ko whamalo mo whawhetai ke hiki ko ngā ko si ne ofa mo ke lesi ko mo mantu i pe ko si peti lo mano a hoku taha ho ngai ko host na si toko te mai anga mamahi ko taim ko na ku foki me ngā aue ane nai ko ki tātu ki ai ke wakai he nai whakanganga pe a tahe a honi pa ko tāt ke ai ni o stari mai telefoni ta mai ko ni o siau ki api pa ko fia lahi ai e se ini ko honga ku lava ke ne ngoi o ki malohi no sino pe a whakalaka au pito ne mo ui ka ko tui o kai o whalahi au pito ki a peti ko ngā koe ngahi whainga ta whasino na ne whepaki mo ia i ngahi mahina ko ni ku lava ke tau situ a pea me ai ka koe amanak lelei pe a mo whalala ko ia ko ne tui peke e mo ui ia se ini ka whanonga mā peti ki he whamatala ko ni te tamai tuku pe mea ke u whakau kai ke he te tau foki lewa ki he tau ngai whanongonongo mo tau ngai ngongo ho e ki pe mo kainga no muka pe mo otu momo a ko whaampe ke whahoko a te tau Polokalamani ke mea he ho e ki pe mo tonga ko ta pe ko ngā na amou tau koni pe na amou wala ni ma mai he lolotonga taim na mau whaka he waha tu ai ki ngai wahenga ko na mo iai ko ngā ko ui to koni ke he inasi koni o no muka i he partnership pe mo pure anga Tonga ko tui pe mahalo mahino pe ke kainga no ko to ape ko wafu ka no muka o kai ko pe he ko wafu piwa pe ai pure anga ko hinga foki he ko antai wafu ko fosoa ko hala pure anga tau pe he ke Ministry of Infrastructure o na anta ko to ape na to he pure anga ka ko fonga nga au ko lolotonga ni o firma o ke haki inasi he kai ma de ko pure anga na te ke atonga ko to asen he ko me ko kol ko ta pe ko fonua ko ta pe ko ki mot ko ta pe ko na fe ma o vivilia na dolu aya ko pau ke play e pure anga ke fea ko pau ke na to ko ni ta to te fito eni ke ma inga ko o ke he fahinga fe ma o ku vivili au pito aya ko first priority o ko fa ngai fe ma o ya se ni ko ka fu fe ma o ya ka ma o pe i o pa ka pa ke ma o sai pe moia aya ko savea ni na pase ko me no muka koe wafu o fie mao ia pe hoko ia ka first priority pe koe fie mao viviri ia e kainga. Kai ke tau pasi ko toa mai tau me ai. Koe hao ke ahoni, tau whawheta e pe tau tolu ia ka sihova. Koe taha ia fia o tau mao se ini pe mo si kainga o koe me Amerikani he. Koe mahu atu ki he vahenga ko whai koe fundraisingi. E nau kata koe me nau manuki mai, koe wafu e nano whiha mo mai ke whenga i he. Ai koe osi pe koe whai se tesi, koe ha koe whai se tesi hoko hake pe, ko hai tene kai e paanga koe na, he se inge. O pehe whoke e whainga mea koe mulini. Ko ngā whoke ilo Amerikani, koe rock try out in, e whai meke Amerikani, kei ke fufu pau, kei ke mau pau o e ke hongo ngai whanua ke he. Kana o si au mai ke Amerikani, al na tō me pā ngā, te hao e whai try out ho noa. Ko kana alpe toka ia, pe o se pe koe ke tūha wafu ia. Ka koe mahalo, koe hange koe lau koe ki he kiu lofi. Tau lele koe kiu lofi eni he. Pata mai, i kai koe lo ia koe kiu lofi eni ia. Te ai tō oa, ta koe koe whai hau mo oni ia, e lofi mo oni au pito. Ka koe maho inga koe ke tau mau pe ai we i tō tono. Pe ke tau, maho inga koe ke tau ofa pe mo tō koni. Mo kātaki pe kainga, na ko fu tō tu atu e ku malanga a ku heseni. Ka ko maho inga fo ke tau tokoni pe mo mata ofa, tau wahe pe ki mea au tau mao, ko ha pe ki se niti o mao si kole tokoni mai ko ha mea o mao, tai fo ni ihu tau wha loto fo i pe ta te mamao, ko ngahe na ospehe ia, ka ko tui ko ahoni, ko lapa ki tau mao, ka inga ko pe me Amerikani, e loto mo konsenista o taina, he na o si lahi pe o protection ia, e mutu e wafu ia koe nā, he pehe, mo pehe. O e ke ngai tāno e ke kakai ke ilo e au, kai ke koe ahoni ia, koe mea koe na tau mana koe he ke lava, ku lava ia. Ka koe lava he ha, koe e kipe. Koe ahoni tau tala noa fia ko tau pe, ko ngona i he ngalo e ape mo e o pe, no te teu koe ke hofi e wafu. Pea whaka ilonga mai e toko taha ko tau pe, koe mau nofo koe me furi si, mau si atu ke si kakai una whakarea mo eke mai whawhelave i pia mo e wafu. O mau whamatala atu, kai ke, ko fu alma mao au me hanga koe ai foi senta koe mea koe na ton ke ta wa o ki ai, koe ngaka te ufoki lewa he tai nime. I he ulaki konga, ko tui hange pe koe ane os tuku atu hinga hi Polokalama wafu atu ki mua, na ko os tuku atu pe ai whawhelave i pia mo e whaiva, pe koe lakalaka koe ni koe ai whonua. Ko wakai atu whoke lakalaka, ko mahape kua toko nima ka kai ko ilo, o toko ono aka sofaia. Ka ko wakai atu koe ki he wahenga koe me ka kai tangata, ko si atu pe ke whotunga hange mai hafoha Nikolasi, aia ko ilo pe mahalo ka mokopuna o te vita finau. Ai ko tangata eiki ana ne whao koe e whaiva e senie, na e peno ki ingoa na uipe ko piai, ka koe tangata eiki ko te vita finau hono hingoa. Ka ko siat ke wahenga koe ka kai tangata, ko siat ke fofonga o ki tama koe na wahenga ko Nikolasi whaitangane ata. Ai ko whakau kau ia, maha ko a foha o ngalo pia mo Nikolasi. Ai koe mokopuna te vita finau na e haana e whao koe e taanga koe ni. Ko wakai atu ke wahenga koe ni i he kakai whewhine, ko siatu hange mai ha tahine koe kasine no o puletahe atu poutoa. Ko ene whae ko whakaahu atu poutoa, me Salt Lake City, ko ilo ka whine e koe ni o ke lau maari e reipe. Pea, ko mahalo ia, koe hoa ni o sione whanguna. Ai koe pea me inomuka. Pea, ko tui pe ko tono pe sio he ta whaako ia, ma ke hea pea me he ta awhahenga, ko wakaiatia ko ofisa kolo. Ko ta awhahenga koe me kai tangata kai ke haku maa waki ai. Ka ko tui koe anga ia o e kusio, ka malawa pe ke hala fokse ine kusio ako he. Ka koe whaiva koe ni na e tuku atu, aia koe whaita ia pea me he Tonga Broadcom Commission i he mea koe na tahine Princess la tufu i peka tuku aho ki no muka, i hene maa i moa whelo tei. Aia koe lakalaka ni nai whakau ko ai, ka koe lakalaka whafonua pe nia ano muka, hange ko glau, koe tahane ngai lakalaka tuku whakaholo me ngai tau tangata lahi. I he koe lakalaka tatau peeni, ai he ngahi vitio kehe ia na mawhaatuku at peki mua, ai he ngahi polokalama wafu ki no muka. Kai kehe koe ahoni, ko ia peku whekau he whaiva, i o ata pesete te au ke kau koe. Te ke practice pe koe he wheitu pe koe ke iai, ka tatu whataha be toki Tonga. Koe ma kehe pe me iai, ko osi mahino pe foki, koe ma i moa ko ia o e wahenga, koe tahine prinsesi la tuifu peka tuku aho, aia koe alo whewhine ni o e tamapini skalauni, pia mo e tahine prinsesi skalauni. Aia ko ia tene ma i moa wahenga. Pia i hene pehe na osi whaha pia me i Tonga, koe ngahi o wau ke ta whaako ia te kea e Amerikani. Koe ngahi o wau ke ta whaako ia o te kea e Amerikani, aia koe uhinga ia ki he maha i moa whakapare, ki he koloa. Bea kotoa pe wau ki ai, Aia koe smahino e ia se ono mea anga, ono tau kupukerekere, he taimi tene maha i moa i he whaiva, te kea kātou Amerikani, pia mo i koloa, hawhai o mea koe ia, koe ngahi tupenu. Ma tuka tem kou tau tānoai ke whema e tupenu, koe koe konga tupenu eni. Koe fuauni tupenu, koe se ini Ko pau ke toho ai au ni tupenu. Koe maa i moa whapare ia. Kawai pia mo whakamoko moko, kawai. Mea kātoa pe whawhelawe i mo whai uau koe na, koe ni te kea Amerikani. Koe tau whawhelawe i mo tau whawhanga, e ko amana ki whoki whakahoko i he aho tatau pe, e ko aho ko huwhi ai ai wafu. Ko no hiki koe o tau mawha, o whahoka ta pe tau tolu, pia nai whakarea mai pia me i Tonga, whawhelawe i eni, pia moe whie mao hatokoni, ki he ngai tēni ti, pia moe ute pire, i he utako nai awe, nai ai ute pire, mau kongo futupu, nai awe ai, pia kau ki ai, pia moe, okosi mau, pia moe ngai tēni ti. Koe lawa ke toko nai peheta nela sila, o la pegen ok nau teu mangai ute pire pe me i Tonga, pia moe o tēniti, ke awe ke toko ni pe ki no muka. He uiai pe ai ute niti, pia pehe fo ki he ngai te pire, mo ngai mea pehe o lawa ke mau i motu, ka koe tau whenga pehen ke tau matapoto, ke lahi whe unga, ke oa na no. He kou tui koe kātoa ngani, koe kātoa ngai e hou eksia, pega ki ngata pe ne ho exia ka e toko lahi fo ke kāinga ko ngā koe nau whia au tonu ke nau mamata tonu mo nau wa au tonu ke he wafu ga no muka he kai ke koe ahonia ko tui koe taha ia o e ngai whanonongo pe nau loto ke o atu whawhilawe i pia moe whaiva wai e kore ko ni ki he ngai wahenga ke tau ngai wahenga ko Amerikani mi Hawaii i ki Arizona ki San Francisco pia ki Seattle a o ke Cowboy State ki Texas kau ke whie kau he whaiva mo kātak whamore koe whaiva aena koe taanga aena koe te unga pēna he pia mohono haka pa koe e kore at ka mautolu ke mau whamore koe haka koe na e tuku mai koe ni he whaiva ko ia pe te tau whaanga e ko tuku ke te whemau ke whaihari liu he ko ngā he te tau whihalaki he se ini ko tuku e taha ia e whanononga maho inga au pito ka pau ke he kau tak whawahenga e toi lele iang ka pau te mo ui peha ki kulupu hio mo ngahi e lia ko ngā ke nau tokoni mai ki hono haka koe ni e whaiva te mo sio pe ke he wakai pe ke he vitio o haka pe ki ai ko hono ua e mea maho inga ko uloto ke uwhe whakatala noa ki ai o whawhelawen pia moe waka ko waka kono amana ke whai ai folau koe ki motu ki hono huwhi koe o wafo ko o si ai pe foki ai waka koe takai po mana a tō wharensi na o si arensia mo fotu tu pia me i Tonga aia koe waka koe ni na e whiema na e koe whatanga me pia nela ke utoe podcast announce atu pe he Polokalama Letio Tonga Amerikani ko ngā ke whakaari pe ke kāinga ai koe waka e ua ai koe ulaki waka ai koe waka ia koe ain o tau arrange tau tolu koe whamalo lahi ka siwa kliwai pia pe he foke malau shipping ko ngā koe nau toko ni mehe ta whaako e ni ai koe waka koe ni e mawahe ia pia me i Tonga i he aho tolu noa pia koe waka koe ni o folau pe i he route folau koe ai waka ai mawahe ia pia me i Tonga he aho tolu noa ai koe aho ulo aki ko o sino muka ai waka e koe ni koe waka e ni koe o tau whakao ngā e koe tupunga pe ko ngā ke tawa o ki no muka ke mau ho tau taimi ke set up ai mea ke tau whawhanga ko hinga e whakaampe ke tau keep up apito, ka pau oku kai ke mau koe ke whai alu koe ni, koe waka koe taha te aoat ke ana iange o whaafoofa pe ke to lavangi he waka koe ia. Koe waka koe nu alu he aho tolu noa, ko tui koe malau fitu ni maa ia. Mea i peha o eiko toa na panga pe whaka ni manoa e te alu koe he malau fitu ni maa ki no muka moe way back. Ai koe panga te awe round trip. Ka koe ngawha ko hike lolo ia mo pensini he tai nimi he. Peka pau hike Amerikani koe haha kei ki Tonga he se ni he. Oku toi hiki pepe mo Tonga. I hene pehe whafofo heke ke talate foi fika he tai nimi. Ko tau Polokalama Letio Tonga hui ka hau te hanga whakapapau ia toi. Ka koe foi pasese koe na aku hanga koe o likuesi ki he kautaha. Ae koe toko te au walnoa ki he wange au. A foi pasese koe ae ku lock in ia mea tau tolu. Koe toenga ia e pasese ko kole anga pe au tuk pe ke public. He? Pe ku ke alu he kulupuka Amerikani pe ikai. Pe ku ke alu pe koe ia koe pasese, regular pasese. Koe kei whaafo ofa pe ia. Kai ke he pe koe hae pasese maalunga taha. Mantu o kwhia mao a pasese ke toko lahi ko hinga. Ke koe, that's a way they make money. Eh? Ko ngā ke to tongi ho pasi pe ho tikite. Aia ke round trip. Ka hange pe kon ko fra o atu nai panga ni manoa. Ka ko nau tala mai te nau pau pe ke nau to hiki ki nau tolu ia ko ngā ku hiki pensinia pe mo lolo. Fra toranga to pe ni ko tau Polokalama wafu ke hui kaha u te hanga confirm me atu ai ko hai fika ko o hiki ki ai he ka ku tali lele e me ko ta pe ka wa fu me lele limosini ke ave ki no muka io te ki he ka mo limosini he malau fitu ni ma. Koe folau kone malau fit ni ma, tene folau ia pe ahoko tene pot ngawe, ne halanga folau ana ia. Ka e foki mai e malau, of pick up mai ki tau tolu. I he Polokalama koe ke huwhi wafu i he awhalaite, koe celebration koe ki he whakatuloa pe, ki he aho o whahifo koe ne tamatui, koe aho whaa ia ai koe aho toko naki. Koe aho sāpate o whai e malangataha, i honolotu i koe ia o he Senturi ua o lo tui Tonga i wahenga o tu momua o ka manaki whahau pepe mo ia i no muka. E mea fok iai pe mo Palestini whakatui, ai ako Palestini ako ni Seswe Siliana. I kai ke ngata ai o kuhangihangi e iai e Polokalama koe po hiva whawhetai mo whamalo. Ko ngā ko i kuna ngahi palani mo ngā aue ko toa pe. I he aho monite o kuloto ai kainga ke whai e tau ki kai tunu whamawai pe moi whonua. Pe hene pe he rewa e ose Polokalama ko ia most likely ko tui pe koe pō moni te e toki awhi mai waka pick up o mai tau tolu ke tau si lava whoki mai ki Tonga. O taha hifo pe ko to ene carry on ni mo ne kula tuku misi. O lele ki a pōti, he se ni e? Ko tui ko tuu ia koe e Polokalama i he lolo Tonga ni. Sai, i he taim tatau pe ko ulaki pe ko fe ma o ke whakamahino atu. Ko e ongo kau taha waka e ua kono whaonga e. Ai ko tō wha Ramsey mo Malau shipping. Malau Fitnima shipping. Ko e ongo kau taha ke ia. Mana tui ko ho to tongi ho tiki te ko round trip. Aia ko ho me atu ki no muka ke kātanga pa ke toi me a whoki mai ki Tonga. Mana tui ka ke folau ka ke tongo ho tiki te he kau taha e taha i ho alu mo ho hao. Mana tui ke toi lava transfer ia. E ke toi lava transfer ko kau taha ko kau taha tatau ia. E iai whahinga ofa pe ke sai pe mea kotoa. Ula ki whakapapau i ko whe waka te ke aluai. Ko whe waka te ke aluai ki no muka. Pe ko whe waka te ke whoki mai ai. Ko si kainga koe pia me Amerikani ko tui ko toko lahi au pito ki tau tolu. O tau loto pe, ke tau nofo pe ke ose Polokalama. Ko hinga, ta ilo e whanonga pe te whainga maari e pe he ke tau te lava ki motu. He ine pe he o ku loto pe ai kainga te nau nofo katoa pe no muka. Ke ose kakato e Polokalama pa tau te whoki mai. O ku osi ai pe a limiti. Pea mo nau wahe ki he whea ka pau ko ke tau whiha o ku full whea ka pau ko ke tau taha ua ke tau whiha paanga tolu nima pe koe paanga tolu noa dipeni pe pea me iai pea o mahifo ke taime o ke whanki kau pepe mo ke vale au pito ko ia ko ia kore ko ni ki he kāinga. E hange pe ko ia ko osi whakatokanga atu. Ko waka ko taha aia ko tō wha Ramsey ia. Aina e arrange ia mo whotutu ko pia mei Tonga. O ko mawahea pia mei Tonga he aha uloaki. Aia ko aha ua o si ulai o si Tonga e waka i nomuka e waka ko na tō wha Ramsey pe ko taka i pōmana. Aia pa e foki mai pe ai waka i he ua hota e fiafi o aha tōna ki. Ko kole pe ke te hanga pe te aia pe ke mahino. Ko e waka koe ni koe tō wha Ramsey o ka mana ke mawahe ia pe mei Tonga he aha uloa ki. Aia koe aho ua ku o si no muka e waka. Koe huwhi e wafu he aha tolu. Koe celebration koe ke he whahifo koe o tui. Aia koe aho tōna ki ia. Koe wapi ema o foki mai waka ia pe mei no muka ki Tonga. O koe kore heni. Ka koe sio ki hanga schedule koe ho o flighti. Pe koe sio maho inga ke foki ki he ngā ue. Sio ke ngai tawha ak maho inga koe ia. Ai te ke foki koe he waka koe he aho ua. He ua ho a tae fiafi. Ko nau tolo koe unau whi nofo ke osi koe Polokalama. Ai ak mahino te tau foki mai ki tau tolo ia i he malau fitni mā. Koe kau taha shipping ke he ia. O kai ke uloto ke ha conflict i he utikite pe koe pāsi. Tato te whito en ka tau tolo koe pia mei murini. Ma tuk tau ot ki Tonga kai ke tau te tau apito pehe. O pehe ta koe koe mea e uke he ia. Koe whakatangi hen ke ofa pe ke mō mahina e tau repeat ia tu pe e ngai whamatala koe ni mu ngai whanonong koe ni hou eik pia me kāinga koe ngake mō mahinoi. Pia mei Amerikani. Ko tuke whunga tatau pe uwhi mao koe ni he kau taha waka koe e tō wha Ramsey, ta tau pepe mo requirement ni koe o whia mao mai e he malau shipping. Ko hingoa ko ho IT, ko ia te ke pai a ko pāsi. Ko pau ke match ho hingoa, mo hingoa ko ho IT. Pe ko hingoa ko ho passporti. I kei ke ngatai, mau inga au pito, ai taimi. On taimi ke he taimi ko tamai mawahe waka koe mawahe ia. Na ke alo koe whai ho whatau pa ke alo ko ia, pa ke toki lele mai koe kua fuse tau laia ke tukuange, kai lele waka ia. Koe whamanatu at pēni ki he koe ngā waka ia o kuua, mo ka taki whatoka ngā iange, o whape o mahino atu. Ai whi whamatala koe ni. Ko ia i hene pehe whie mao ho hingoa, whie mao ho birthday, ke kau pia mo ia ki ai, pia mo chenta koe o koe. Nā te o fu strict au pito e a Tonga he tainimi. Koe ngā koe nau whemao pe ke whakapapau i identity, ke whakapapau i ko hai, ko mere moala au, o kai ko mere ofa au, pe ko mere salome, wahinga mea pe he. Koe ngā he whetō aki ai whuke, heka hapase se ke hei hapasi pe ko hatiki te hatake. Kako tau sia pe neonga tau pe streak a Tonga, kako alo pe ke whakalaka ange whakatonga e lol tongani. Ai koe whawhilawe, koe whanonongo e whawhilawe i koe pia moe waka, Ai koe ngā waka e ua, koe malau fitni ma shipping, pe koe tō wha Ramsey, ai koe takai po mana ia. Ko mo tolgo mo whemao ke mo alo he takai po mana, te mo kontek mo tō katanela sila, ko mo tolgo mo whemao koe ke mo folau i he, ke mao haapasi, ko mo tō mo whemao ke mo folau i he malau fitni ma, te mo te la peke ke a whetu tak mai ka te au, pe ko hataha pe he komiti, e tū ko he tainimi, ko sio ke risi ka Amerikani, tō lahi au pito. Ka koutu ko anga e tū ko e he lolo tonga ni, o whawhelawei, pia moe folau ko e ai waka. Ma ke he mea i, ko whamaloka te mo tolo ko toa pena mo tokoni mai, I hono whaheka koe e tauta, I he wike koe ne tau situa me iai, I hono sipi koe ne uta koe niki Tonga, koe ngake te koe ne o e tau whawhanga. I he taimta tau pe, koe whaiva, e malama pe ke ai e whaiva, ai taanga o print outi, o atu ki taim koe te tau I Tonga ai, koe ngaka koe ki ke whekau he whaiva, ha o pea kau e hiva, Koe kau whewhine koe pe Amerikani, koe pe whatangi at ka te mautolo, Waki extra space I ho ota, ka taki whaata ki mono, pe ko haki konga tu peno. He ko tui teke ilo I pe, teke alo ato sio ke whaiva, o koe family pe ko kai ngai, o ke loto ke whakapare I he. ko ngahe sia mai foko I lo I koe, he? Ko mea pe ko loto ke whakamanata atu. O ko mea ko paanga whai te riha pe ko ia, ho alo whapare paanga. Ka ko whakalawe at pe ni ko ho ngahe, koe ngahi konga pe hewe tau ngahi Polokalama, ko e whaiva mai ho kāinga, pe ko tunga ane, pe ko nephew, pe ko niece, o ke loto ki alo whapare. O sei pe ho mono pe ia a au ia, mo tupenu pe ia a au pe ia, he? Ko tui te nau fia au pito, o ka pau e pe he? Ko Polokalama koe a sapate, ko loto pe ke whamahina atu ko Polokalama koe a sapate, o koe whaka am ke tau te unga hina. Te unga hina, lelei au pito ke aha ki tāwala, pe au lelei au pito pe ko haki kie. Maho inga au pito ai anga whaka eiki. E lolo tonga koe ne lele Polokalama koe nihi, koe ngā hau a whio whoke ai hau o tonga, pe pehe whoke ke hau eiki o whonua. O koe whamanatu koe tau te unga, te tau whangai te unga whaka eiki au pito, pe tatau pe mo tau to o ngā, he? Ko ki whamanata pea ki ho tau kāinga, pea mei Amerikani, pe ko murini, he? Ko tau alwa me murini, ko whelota pe ke whamahino atu. O kai ko hingena ke tokoni ko he wafu, pa ke nofo ai pe koe kau ke whee alo, e kai, ha au koe ke tau wo. Koe ahoni maho inga pe ke tau whia, koe ngā we ko lava, koe kuna. Tau whia ko toa pe, he? So koe mahu inga e whi vahe aki. Mea koe nai lava ke mau ia koe he kulupu wafu, tau whia ko toa pe ai, he? Koe ke te ahu, kai ke te aha te whakau kau, kai ke te aha sio ki mui, koe tuka te nimi laka pe ki mua. He pe lo mano, ko sio ka peti uki lotoni I he tau Polokalama, ko tui oku neongo I oku malohi ange apito no sino, o whātu apito peti kia te koe, I he taim tatau pe I he whaiva mahu inga apito ke taha te unga. Mahu inga pito ke taha te unga, koe ta anga pe na moe haka, he gete ke toi haka kehe koe, whia mau ke tau haka taha pe, eh? Ma kehe me ai, koe aha moni te, aha koe whae kai tonu, te tau kau pe ke Polokalama koe ni, te ke whanongo ki ha location me no muka, o amana ke wheitu e whahau ke ai kai tonu, whamawai koe ni pia moe kāinga, pia moe whonua, ka koe palani en ko set up en mai koe o mao. I ke ngatai, koe tau kau folau koe pia mei Amerikani. O whaampe ke tau lava pe I he wakatatau, ko si ofa mai a namo siu pa mono hoa mo na ki whanau, ko ngau koe ki whai maneo ke hamu tēnā te ui pe, tēnau te ui pe, ko ngā ke si taitari a ki tau tolu, I honga ia pe ia mo whi whakamalo ia, he lava ke tau te whikite ngā ki ha hiri hangai whainga ta alahi, pia mo hangai ta alahi. Hangai pe koe au tau sio ki hai ke he taimina e toa e tsunami, tai Amerikina e ke nau te si kei mau hawhainga maari e hang koe au nau mau he lolotonga ni. Ka koe au whewhahauko atu pe, au loto pe anamo siu ka pe hefo kia Sosefina, siu pe mo ki whanau, iai e ki whai maneo ke hamu te nau hanga te ui, ke taitari aki e tau kau folau koe pe mei Amerikani foki. Ko te keike utuwang e taimi, ko koreanga sein ke tae matau ki whai whasi, tau foke e pegi no muka. I he taim tau pe, o ku whia mau ke display atu hene ai ho tau whalani. Ko tau whalani, o whia mau ke display atu pia mei hene, ai ako whalani ene ua, na lava ke mau sio ki ai. O koe ke te whia mau ha whalani tahi ngoa mo hawe, koe mo mana tui, ko whalani ako ang mamafa ia. Ko kalasi ene ua, so ko whepe whalani ai he ua koe ni, te ke o tai ho whalani me Amazoni mama au pito panga taha ua, maha me panga taha walu, ke whalani e taha. Ko taim te ke o ta ko whalani ki hono taha, o ku panga e ni mangofulu ki hono ngofulu e vātuai, he? Ka ko sio ko whalani ko niufu mama au pito, ko slava pehe po i description ko ni o tala atu kia te koe, ko si kainga e ni piko me Amerika, he? Ko sio ko ngo whalani e ne ua, ko whepe whalani mama pehe Amazoni, ma apehi Amazoni ang whalani ko ne ua, ko whepe whalani ai te lava mau, o alo pe whalani ko ni o au ke 5x, ai koe sais lahi au pito, 5x, akamata pe me small ke 5x, ko ia koe kole kau mautol mo taha, koe u whalani en te tau tui he taim te tau folau ai koe ki nomuka. Aho ek makainga ko tu mo wakai mai pega o falan kanu mau pe Amazoni ma au pito panga tawa hiva ai ting mo panga taha valo ai ko kole ka te mo tolu ko falani ena tak ta o ta pe no falani ki Amazoni ke fe moa o atu ko nga ke mahino he ku fa o pe ai o ta ko ke Amazoni o wiketa pe ka pau e to ki oversee i pe pe me ai ka ko ma inga na falani pa anga pa anga e tahaua hivehiva mo pa anga tahavalu hivehiva ma te na to ki ke text pa mo tiliva mai ai ko falani na ai ko kalasi na e ua ko uhinga pe ko nga ka ko ke saia ko he kalasi ko pa ke tu le ko kalasi ko taha ko ke ta te ta hingoa ko foi design ya ko na gosto he tu pe os famadala pe America he ko se ni ko tu ko nga na fatata ko nga ma inga ko fuka americani pa ko sta na mo me ka to ko ia ka to pe he ko falania ko te tau atui he tai mo tau folau tai ki no muka ko faka amuia ko inga hange ko ke tau folau pe he foi i shipping ko o ana o stu ko atu he malau fit ni ma ko hinga he ko si ofa mai ana mo si o pe mo no hoa pe mo na ki fa nau o ko ki fe mano ki hamu te nau te teu ke tau atu ko ki no muka o mao pe mo tau tok po tala no ai ko tu ia ko he lolo tonga ni o ngahi fatongia e taim ta tau pe whakamana tu ato ko ngā koe tau kau sotia Amerika ko tui maho inga o pito na o si ota e o te ngā sotia ka wiaha te ngā sotia wha ame mo te ngā sotia ko ia he fufi e mau te ngā kakato full gear te ngā sotia he ia e tau ki Polokalama te tau wha ao ngā ia ho tau te ngā sotia ka ko ho o mea whana tuku peho mea whana au ia i Amerikani tau te tau algo ki nomu kase ko mea whana pekenene vai pe pekenene vai pe ko nga o ke ha mahafu ai ko nga na fe ku hai polisi o tohi mahati ki te hata ko tui ko foi ko taha ene fanki Polokalama na lava ke mau fa ho ko mau lele atu ko ki no muka he ngai fatongia ko ia i he time ta tau pe ko po falaite o ku ai fo ke flow e americani polo ai pa ko ka tama ko na na vivili me kai ki he polo pe a fai tala noa ki ai o mahino pasi ko se o ka ke na te asi me na tolu ia kana os fai agree ki ai io o lele ki fai hata o polo ai ko polo ko ni just to have fun ko kala ko ki he polo ai ko blue and cold ko tau lanu ko tau fa ngai hange ko falani ko aha ko e hufi wafu ko tau kala na ko tau lanu pe ko he fuka lande hina lan pulu lan kulokula he ki tau no fa pe ha foi lanu ta hange ko tau lau lanu he se ni tau te ko to ape lan pulu lan kulokula lande hina ko fe pe halanu ai ke fe loto ke fa ngai ko lanu ya fuka Amerika ko e pole night ko polo ai ni ko te tau fa ha ko po flight ue ngahi pale ai wa manaki ke tau me fanki event ni whakahoko ai mo te teo mai ki ai ko e pato a fitu ko kamata ia pe ke malunga la ape ke ko kamata ia e polo ko e pato a taha ko e close ia e polo fake pale pe tau malolo ai ke tona ki he se ni i he time tau pe e ta tau ki fohiva ko nga ka tau ki break ai me Seattle Washington he ahoni hofa o pito ni Seattle Washington fofonga lele e foto mai e fuelo e la mafana au pito ka ku neongo ku ai ngahi tau fa ku to he funga e fonua ka te tau ke Tali whawhita i pe ko ia ngai hala fononga o whaat ke ngai family he kei te ke utatau at o kei to e pe ngai whanonong ko he tainimi ka ko loto pe ke lele i pe ke osi ko nga ke mo mao e ngai whanonongo mao konga pe o te ke whanongo tala noa na whewhe ku whihala ki ho whanongo tala noa ka ke loto mamahi koe ate ki whewhasi koe ni me halamata waka pe me whanga ino muka pe me otu momua mak mo tol ko tape mo ilotoni i he tau Polokalama misa wate kini malo au pito la tu me le tui pulotu ko tokon Palestini foke na Amerikani me Reno Nevada ku ni hen mo tau tol o whakitoke lau malo au pito kau mai David Manukia tui puloka hefa malo i kau mai ke tau Polokalama Ameria ka fo o la tu pe mai tonga e ki malo ka mai ke tau Polokalama ko peti fo ke ne ku nei loto ni pe pe moia fa malo ka peti pe tau fa feta e ku lava ke ne te mau ha moi lele ma o me avuna alones o fa tau pito ka ko malo ka mai ke tau Polokalama fo nuku ngungu tau loni tu puloto malo au pito Linsi po me ko e pule fo ke ne lolo ka kala te au malo ka mai ke tau Polokalama I ha honi malavina ka toa fa la hola Cowboy State, ko taki fo ke ni pe me he wahenga ko ia o Texasi, ma loi ka mai ke tau Polokalama I ha honi, pe fo ka wilou o la Vake Vake finau. Ko tui ke tau Polokalama ni, o ke ngalo ia pe mai o pe I he platform ko a TV and Radio Vake Tali Folau. I he lea whakatonga, hiwa whakatonga, pe moe ngahi mea ko pe he lea pe tau toke tau mahino ki ai. O kai pe kore ka te motol ke mo share tau Polokalama, share te tau Polokalama ke a watu ki ho tau kāinga, ai ngahi ongo, ngahi whanongonong ko tau pe kulawa ki tau mao, amana ke tau ngā unu ma maariat moia me he ahoni, ko ahoen hono fitu o me wanoa wano. Kai wate ki fo hiva ko ni peka hilia te tau toke hoko ato. Malo.
I love you.
ka tai pe Letio Tonga ka tik mo tolko ta pe tu ko mo taimi ka mo kau mai ke update ko ia mo hono whakakato e ngai Polokalama ko e te ke huwhi wa whana muka pe mo ka inga ko e pe mi Amerikani ko taha ngai mea mahuinga o whi whakamanato atu ko ngā ko taimi ko tau Folau ai ki Tonga mantui o nau winter nau tolu ia nga ko e tau lau whawhai tau o tau a tato mihen ko ka mata ke tau wa o tato ke mawhana mai ko e sama ma ke he me si atoni e ko e mawhana e sama ia o kai ke fu momoko fe ia he se nie ko ia ko e pe whakatoka ngat ka tik motolo ko ngā ko ngai te unga pe o whakatatau pe ki hanga o ea neongo ko e moko lele e nea ka tau tolo e tau atu ke weta tonga hene tu ko he Letio Tonga taimi whai tau ko ni ka koe pe whamanat ka tek motolo o whiliuri ake pe anga e ea e saitaha pe ke li pe haki whamawhana to pe haki whamawhana ea o li noa pe ki ho kato taim tatau pe wai pe whamanatu atu whawhilawe e ni pe moho o first aid kit o wai kore ka tek motolo ke mo whamore fa o pe ho funky me fa first aid ki ho ki kato first aid o fa o ki ho kato aya ko ki foi pen 80 o ko ki foi sunscreen o ko mo ki funky a kirimi ko ni ko ki he insect bites he me funky me ko ta pe ke si o e a on aya ki Tonga ka wen mo ki foi hina pepto bismol ko tu ka tali kana na mo si ko te ke fai me ka ta to lu ke tawat ko ya vai foko ho tau sino da to ke tau fuanga ke kai e whainga mea kai koi Tonga he po breakfast la nisi ho ata e fiafi mo po uli kai pe fu mea kai Tonga he ko ngā ke sio pen ki whaka ehi au pito na whawhai ku aha matu tamaki he hono mao koe whainga mea kai a Tonga wha ho ki fo hina pepto bismol pe ko ho wha ho whanki fo i akau koe ni e lava ke tokoni ke te koe o ka bati ke o ngoi o kua haanga i ho ongo i koe ki he tuu koe ho o tunga whamoilerei ke toko ni i pe koe ke ua eha mea te ke futo lalo ai manatu ka metikolo a tonga o koe ke fu whena pasia mo anga e tau mo Amerikani e ku most likely maha koe ngai kātanga peheni o whaai pe palpalema o hoko tau te fito en ke food poisoning o koe ai whakatokanga pe koe ni ka te mo tolo ho e pa mo kāinga mo ki matapoto ange au pito e ta whaako ia ko tui ka tawhaak si ko loto pe ke whatalanoat ke tawhaak ni na e loto fo ke kāinga ke tau haia e tau live stream pa ku osi lava o alea e live stream ko ni ai aku wofi ke panga o no afe Tonga ai mahuinga ko ni live stream ko ni ke tau hanga whakaaunga e ko ngā ko kinau tolu ko ke nau si lava ke Folau whataha mo tau tolu o tamen to ke nau pesiang na to ke live telefoni he motu fokia he fe ma pe na to ke nau siento ke live ko lele i hanga tonu pe koe o to mate pe he osika foi Polokalama pa hene pe he na ko osi a fetu takle Vake Tonga o ka wai I confirm ko ke he live stream I broadcom ko tu ko nga live stream lele a pito eni pa ko na o mai ko na quote o ku me i he no afe tupu si ipe aya i he paanga Tonga eni aya i hene pehere o ko sia e ngahi quote ngahi pledge mai aya ko pledge uluaki ke live stream o ko e whamalo lahi ke apuletahe atu potoa malpo maafu pe whaka anti lose maafu pa mo na whanau mo na whamopuna kuna osi pledge mai ai live stream ko ki he ulaki aho ko hufe wa fu katoa taimi ko ya ai ka we wa ko no hufi ko wa fu fra ola ko he tamatu i fra tu lo pe ka wai pe mo hoa tau mafa katoa o hoa ko katoa ko ya na lava os esimeti ai ku he panga e taha valngeau panga Tonga aya ku o fafofua ke he convert ko ke panga Amerika ke panga valngeau pe ko fa malo lahi heni ki he family ko pleta ha tu poto malpo maafu anti lo se maafu mo na fa na mo hona fanga mo puna ko na loto lele ke na hanga o kapaanga ai ulaki aho ko ya o fanga e live stream fe manata tu pe ko quote ko na o mai estimate ko ki live stream o ki he no afetu take lau ke ball night o take ka ke ball night but e komi pe ka tama ko na loto me ko ki he ball night ke na hanga to ai fe live ko ya kai no live e ko se ni o ai ka wai pa mo wa ko he a sapate Ko wau ko sa patena ke kau ia I live stream tatau pepe mo tona ki. Ko hinga ko hinga ko ke kau sa patena kau na se foi hoa ia ki he malanga ko he aho. Ka ko hinga eni o ka patena to request mai ki ha polotu whakawhetai o ai ke whai he fiafi. Ka pau ke whakahoko ai pe ia. E fia mao foi live stream ia ke iai. Kana ke include ai hoa ko ia pe moi hoa ko ni o e kai mea kai whamawai ko ni pe moi kai ngā pe moi whonua. Ko tui me taimi Seattle Washington I he fiafini ko aloen ke mei hoko ai whae fiafi. E taimi a Washington ni ko ai whamalo lahi ke ting mautol ho eki pe moi kai ngā. Ko ngā ko ngai tariangi me ngai wahenga no ko toa pe. I he ofa pe pe moi manatu ki whai toka. I he fie tokoni moi kai ke mangalo ki tupu anga masiva na tau tupu hake ai. I he lau I tau tangata o visone ko heni ko lava ke whakaola ko hono langa ha wafu ki no muka. Pea neongo ko ki te ehisi I pēna lau ke nawala ka ko lava I fumea lahi. O tau lau ia ko koto tāpuaki. Ko ai ki te whaha lau kafo, ko ai ki te whaiha ha te lau me hata whaaki, ko ahoni tau whawhetai ko tā pēka siova, ko ngā heko ia pēna malawa ia ngā ue ko ni. Nā tau kamata pēpea mo ia, pa ko te tau alu pē ke whakaola ngā ue, pēa tau whakaosi, pēa me whangai no muka pēa mo otu mōmua, o tau ki whanonga pēa mo ia. O koe kori whamore atu he ho ek pēa mo kāinga, ka koe ha mau tō whatongia, o ngāri o whakamata tua pēa ke whiunga mo tāu mo mo whakaukau. O mau kore whamore atu. Hange koe lau ka pano. Ko se whanki kaureka koe me Amerika, koe whankaureka koe hanau mea whai, Ka ke ilo e pano foki, behind ia tek mau tolu. We have the rocks. O kuta mau e mau tolu, a ngai fu makatuu, mo e makaturiki, mo e makamalohi, o e whanong anga, I hono wharei, mo hono poupou, mo hono whakamaama, a ki mau tolu koe na mau front line I atu, I he tau hake ne ono me mahina e mei tolu. I aho tātaha koe ne o me, koe kakato ia mahina e tolu, me he aho tātaha ma asi, ua noa tahiwa, ke ahoni. Aho tātaha ma asi, ua noa tahiwa ke ahoni. Koe aho ene hono fitu, o me, ua noa wano. Ko tui me heni, ke aho e whakaola ia e wafu, he tamatu I, whakatu lo atu, me whangai no muka mo o tu momua. Koe futai mlahi ia. Pea koe mo one e whonu whainga taa e hala whanonga. Kanake ke mau whalala ka haiwi a tangata. Koe maa lohi beho eiki, I hano mawhai, nā ne whakaiku nai a ngāwe koe ni. O koe ai o whalahi ke komiti, ke tangata ek Palestini, Arizona Takai, pehe ke ongo toko ni, la tutui pulotu me Reno Nevada, ka pehe whaka se miswe tu foriaki ki San Francisco. Ko se misi ve tu foriaki, pe pehe whaki hana hoa, ko mawhai ata foriaki, pe pehe whaki ki hana whoha, ko mai ali waki foriaki, o ku nau te pleci mai mo nau tolu, te nau aina toi inu goe ki he awhawhanga, ai koe whamalo lahi ki whamiri koe ni. Ko tui ko hainga ki whangi whamiri whoki, o now live a low life. They just want to make themselves low. Now loto bento ke na wanga whakamao lalo pe, just be humble pe na doluia, But behind the scene, they live in a really good life. Ko tui koe ke maho inga tau sia tato ke fotunga I tua. Maho inga pe, tau whi of ofani, tau whi of ake, tau whi vahe ake. Ko tui koe me ea ko maho inga. Pe ako huelo atu lewa, ai ngahi yanga whakalaisi. I tau mo ui. Pa ko tui koe me ea ko lau, he koe me ea ko maho inga. Tau mani te tau mata toi te tau ma paanga. He koe se ni? Nothing. Ko tau ngahi whanki historia ko ku sila I whakalau maari Ko me ea e whia mao. Kai ke whia mao mai ia pena na whia paanga na whaho he panke. No, hala. Ka koe ahoni a mono tala noa. Koe o whaa pe o kune malawa. Mama taimi ha mao ha tu maari e moa paanga lahi. Ka koe ke te mao e o whaa. Simpale tatangi o so singa pea, Ko kātake pe koe lau ia aku. Koe lau pena tamai seini, hene wha lau toi tapu. Ko ia e ahoni ko pehe, ko tau whiunga he ahoni. Ko tui te mautoki hoko atu pe tau Polokalama, kau kaha mo whehui, kau kaha mea mo whe ilo ki ai, whawhilawe i pia mo palani koe, me whotutu ke tau Polokalama, koe whaivae na ostuku atu ke Polokalama na ke waka, ke mo mea i koe waka e ua o alu, koe ngā koe taka i pō mana, ai tō wha Ramsey, pia mo i malau fitu ni ma, ai malau shipping. Koe waka taha, koe waka tō wha Ramsey, whoki mehe tōna ki, he 2 p.m, koe waka koe ni ai malau shipping, e tōk whoki mai a most likely Monday night, o tōk piki mai tau tō lai, he osi koe ai ka kato ai Polokalama, ai koe hiria, ai kai mea kai whamawai, ai kai ngā pia moi whonua, koe ngā kai whahata tau ka te ngau tolu, mono whamalo ia ngau e lahi ko lava. Te keike ose Polokalama e ahoni, ko loto peke ata whamalo ma keke pureanga. Ke Port of Authority, ke Marini, pe hefo ke Ministry of Infrastructure, pe kawai pe moi mei teki. Whamalo lai ka te ngau ko motol ko ta penda mo mea he sea. Na tau whea lea aki, pa na tau whetala noa aki, mo whetu utaki, whilawe e pe moi project koe ni. Kai kia hatoa e tū toko taha. Ako ate whamalo lo Tonga. Kai tumu aki, ai toko ni lahi. Me he whare, oi hau. Ako e whamalo lahi, pia moi, lo Tonga ia ki he mea hanoko to ape. Pe koi ki mea si, pe ko ho ki i lotu, pe ko ho ki i whamalo, pe ko ho ki i fotu mari. Mōria e mea kotoa pe ia he whanonga. Ko oslele ia mea hanoko toa. Ko a honi ko ai pe whamalo ka te ngotol mo e ofalahi. I he te hemta tau pe, te ki ta tau atu a te whamalo, pe mo e tala monu ke si kau wha e hanoko toa pe. Ko he ngana motoko ni hano whataki mai ki tau tolu, e tau e ne ono mo i konga. A manaki fo ke whakamanatua, ai aho si whaifatongia, pe mo e tau anga ngai wha e. O ta tau pe ko nau si pe kia, pe nau kei lau mahali. Ka ko nau pe kia, o whangalonga ta, o kai ke mangalo ia he aho moi po. Tata te fito ke ngai aho pe heni. Pea ka pau kei lau mahali e hof ai, ko ke monu ia koe. Ko hinga heu ke kei o ngona, pea ko kei mata ia, hona ngai fofonga. O whalahi atu te mo tolu me tala monu me he klupu kaya at mo ana muka wo Project USA pe me he komiti mo ka atoa o ka ma fatongia mo ngahi wahe ngaha no toa whatawangi ke mo ma wa sapa te whae fia pe fonu i he keresi ia ngatanga e ma Polokalama ki he fia fini pe malo apito mo mea mai ka mo mea.
Oh Ko e ngolele nia, pea me ke hulu live I he ata, me he painga o e Letio Vake Tali Folau. O kuke fie ma o ke live ha Polokalama I he ata, I ha whahinga kātoanga pe ka uikai ke malawa, Fe nai ka paweni o kuke whakaamo, ke whakauato ke hao whamiri, maheni, pe koe ka inga. Ko omong se vani dieni ko I heni, ke sitau anga ma ki mautolu. Ko mautuku pai foki, ke mau whaios kia verenga ho mau tūku ingata ke live atu I he ata I hao whahinga kātoanga pe. Pe akuanga pe heni le vaia, ka kuke fie maweni ke antalelei, maa pe ambo whaafo ofa, kai mea te bu foki a ene pese te diau ahono sum pe a toi vilohi ke whetapaki mongingila ho asi. O ku malama kotoa ia he whaita koia I he ata me he paenga Letio Vake Tali Folau. O wana ngalo foki, he ko mautuku pae ki mautolu ke mamatai ai lauafe ki he toko mano I he o Polokalama. O kui kai koe na pe, ka ke manatu, o ku live ke mea ki ai tonga kotoa pe, me I hatapa pe o kolo pe, I he taimita tau pe o ku hokoi ho o katoa ngā. Io, koe hāku ke toe tatari ai, he koe totongi, o ku mātua ki saute whāware mo oni, pea mo oni ai lau, o ku toe pe ata pea mo kristahi ke tau wau ki ai. Ko iai whituta ki mai rewa koe ke whika telefoni koe ono ni manoa, valvalu hiwa noa valu hiwa whā, pe koe ono ni manoa tolu noa fitu nima taha, ki ono ngahi whakaiki iki. Whatonga iange koe mau whika telefonia e ono ni manoa, valvalu hiwa noa valu hiwa whā, pe koe ono ni manoa tolu noa fitu nima taha, ka mau pāking ta ofia tu ki ai. Mama opito, pea mege hulu live ata ai Letio Vake Tali Folau.
Malo maria ho eki pe lele ai tonga kotoa pe. O ku wa ka teki mautolu ai ui homo Polokalama whamawhala koia. Pe me he paenga o e Vake Tali Folau substations for ke endo siado. Whahau whatongi at mga mautolu. Whamalo foki ki he kainga e tama pirinis kalauni. Mai whahau whatongi a o e ho atai whiawhia koeni. Ka koe he whiawhi tuapule lulueni. Ko hono aho fitu. O me o e wanoa waono. Tau whanonga mai mo e tau taimi ki hoatani o si a mini te tolu pe me he hoatai whiawhia koe ni keke he. Tu mo ke ate taha inga hiba hoatani ma ku motol kotoa pe o ku tau kawhata mai tau ki kawhata mai I he Polokalama o e hoatani. Pe ku atu ia mai tonga kotoa pe o ku tau kawhata ha. O ne tare eia pe mo hiba o e hoatani. Malo mo la Maria ho eiki pe alele ai tonga kotoa pe wa o te tiki mau tolu. Ai ui e tau Polokalama whama fola lea koia ki he ho atae fia fia koe ni. Kane ngoia o mea e tau taimi ki ho ataani o si ai miniti e valu. O se tau miniti e valu pe a mei he wha ho ata o e fia fini. Te tau hoko te lewa ki he Polokalama ma wahe o he fia fini. Aia ko e Polokalama ia ai Konsela Tonga, Orampusela Tukia, pea mo e US Consulate Office ko ia o tau tolu i Tonga, e tuka te lewa e Polokalama ko ia ke tau wakai ki ai i he ho ataia ko e ni. Tonga ko e tau taimi te tau whanonga lewa ki he ngahi whakai eke, pea mo ngahi whepotala noa aki, ai Konsela Tonga, pea mo e Konsela Tonga, be Amerika Fisi, o kune Lorotonga mea i Tonga.
Tap ki he o tua mawhi o kune a fio i ho tau Lorotonga. Whatapu ki he tamatu i King Tupowono, Queen Nanas Pau. Whatapu ki he tamasi Pirinis Kalauni, Tupou Toa Ukalala. Ka pefo ki he whare o haa mohe ofo. Whatapu ki he pare mia Lord Whakawhanua, pea moe hou e kabineti o ne a fio. Whatapu atu ki he kauno pere. Whatapu atu ki he kautaki lotu. Ka pefo ki he tonga kotoa o mo mea mai ki he tau Polokalama i he hotani. Ka talangata e te au o whai ki tua mamau, ka e tāmo au ke whakahoko atu a e Polokalama koen i he hotani. O ko whakawhiloa ki atu a Jesse Potter, ko e taki leo ia i he ofisi embassy a Amerika i nuku alofana, pea o amanake mwhai a te vahe aki i he hotani, whikau aki pea moe ngahi whainga maarie, ko lawenga monuai ai ki i whanua kotonga. Ka tupe mua ke wafe ki he lea whakapilitania, ke whakahoko ai Polokalama koe ni, pea moe whakahoko ai matu aki honga ia ki he Letio Vake Tali Folau, ko ngā koe tuku mai ai taim koe ni, kai whai ai talatala noa, pea mo Jesse Potter. Mr. Potter, it's a great honor for me on behalf of Radio Tonga Vake Tali Folau from San Francisco Bay Area, California, to welcome you and extend our sincere gratitude to the US government and to your good self for taking the time and be willing to join us to have friendly discussions about these exciting initiatives and things that are happening. As you know very well, we are very delighted to have welcomed Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Sinai Takala Tuku Aho here to the Bay Area with a delegation that have arrived because of this wonderful initiative that has been made by the US government and through the city of East Palo Alto to establish a city partnership between the good city of Kolofo'o and East Palo Alto. And I think on that note, things are very high note here in the Bay Area. We got off to an excellent start, and the mayor of East Palo Alto was kind enough with some of his officials to join in welcoming Her Royal Highness the Crown Princess at San Francisco International Airport yesterday. There was also a traditional welcome ceremony that was conducted at the official residence at Tauakipulu in Hillsborough, and everybody is now settled in and getting ready to start the official program, which will actually commence, I would like to say, tomorrow evening. I will have the great honor to host everyone to a small private dinner. But I would like to thank you again and just give the floor to you, if you don't mind, to perhaps share what you understand has been the impetus for this wonderful means of diplomacy, which has really, I think, brought our two countries closer together through the way of sister city partnerships. And we'd like to hear about all the great work that we know that you are doing there on the ground at the US Embassy in Nuku'alofa. So over to you, Jesse, and welcome again.
Certainly, I'm always more than happy to talk about the work that we're doing and our great relationship. So I think, first of all, it's very important to say that, I might be thousands of miles away from you right now, Sela, but it feels like we're so close with the just with the warmth and the connectivity between the bilateral relationship. So, in Tonga, you've got maybe about 100,000 people. In America, you've got 70,000 Tongan Americans that would claim Tongan heritage. In East Palo Alto alone, there's about 5,000 Tongans. So that's a very substantial portion of East Palo Alto. And then looking more broadly, it really just underscores the depth of the ties between our two countries. We talk about sister city relationships, but I think, first of all, we got to say it's about family. Sisters, brothers. Everybody I meet over here says, I got a brother here, I got a brother there. Large family, and it's these family connectivities that really builds the ties. So I think that by formalizing these relationships into a sister city partnership, we're going to be able to foster cultural and educational exchanges, preserve heritage, and encourage both sides to preserve best practices in arts and language. We'll have a lot of youth programs that can build pride, resilience, and cross-cultural understanding across both communities. But I think it's very important to say that this is a historic milestone in U.S.-Tonga relationships. It's the first ever sister city relationship between Kolofo'o and East Palo Alto. And it really embodies the spirit of people-to-people diplomacy. This all started with people-to-people diplomacy. Somebody knew somebody, they connected, they discussed, and then all of a sudden, they're formalizing this to link our cultures, link our communities, share resilience, increase education, and nurture opportunity. So I think that this type of initiative is going to make both the Tongan people more prosperous and the American people more prosperous in their connectivity. So I'm just delighted to see the level of interest that we're getting from both sides in this initiative.
Thank you so much, Jesse, and I sense the same excitement that you have over there back at home, and what we are feeling here right now. I believe there's a lot of curiosity, certainly for the Tongan people. We are in the process of building appreciation about what sister city partnerships are all about. And in fact, what comes to my mind right now, it's very interesting in the Tongan culture. I've heard the elderly say in their speeches oftentimes, that when we say in English, cousins, which is the next step over from siblings, it's very interesting. In the Tongan language, we do not have a word that translates for cousins. So in fact, we call direct first cousins and second cousins and the like, we call them all brothers and sisters. And I think in that spirit, there's a great sense of excitement in the air. And I like to think, I believe in kudos and so forth, that the stars are really, and the moon is really aligned. And so things have, of course, not everything is always smooth sailing, but there have been bumps. We've gone from left to right, but definitely there's a definitive will to make this work and make this happen. And I sincerely reiterate what you've just shared with me. It only takes one person who might benefit from a work exchange or a youth visit, so to speak, or takes one person just to understand a little bit better someone's culture, the Tongan culture, say, and for that person to share on the excellent work skills and work ethic that you have here in the United States, the driving edge of technology, which is encapsulated in great workplaces that are included in this program, and that Her Royal Highness the Crown Princess and her delegation are very privileged to be visiting next week. So we are super excited. It only takes one person to learn a little something, take back to Tonga, or say, for example, some U.S. citizen in the town of East Palo Alto to understand a little bit more about why Tongans are how they are, and we're big on the extended family, why we go to church every Sunday and so forth, and for them to share on that love, share on the love about culture, as you mentioned, youth, education, work experience, and that's what we want to cultivate, as a better working village that we are all in. And so, up until now, there have been many hands, many shoulders that have toiled to make this work, and we are super, super grateful for the U.S. government, from the hierarchy right up to from the top all the way down to others here in city of East Palo Alto, the former mayor and the current mayor and all their work staff, and of course all these wonderful organizations. And there's lots of hands, I can't mention names, I don't want to forget anybody, who've really all come together to try and make this happen. So we are super excited and just very keen to make this happen, and as smoothly as possible. But so far so good, I'm happy to report. And so these are the things that we're looking at going ahead from yesterday and the good arrival. But tell me, Jesse, if you can share perhaps a little bit more about what the embassy is doing there on the ground in Nuku'alofa, as you mentioned, to further deepen the bilateral relations between our countries.
Oh, of course. So I would say that, first of all, I want to mention that you did talk a little bit about our shared values, our shared religion. I think these are really key strengths of the relationship. I've never arrived somewhere as a diplomat where it's just been so easy to integrate into a culture. And I think that really is a true strength of the relationship. But here on the ground at the U.S. Embassy here in Nuku'alofa, we've launched a number of initiatives, both to develop more advanced technology here in Tonga, energy security. Just this week, we have a team of about 20 people in Tonga from the Millennium Challenge Corporation, and they're looking to what they would call a threshold compact program. So it all gets quite complicated and technical, so I won't go into that. But the quick answer is they'll be spending tens of millions of dollars here in Tonga to invest in Tonga and in Tonga's future, probably with a particular focus on technology and on energy. But that's just one of our initiatives. We've also got the U.S. Trade Development Agency looking at new initiatives to enhance Tonga's energy security, particular access to fuel as things in the region become a bit challenging in a way. So I think it's safe to say that whatever the challenge is, I mean, we from the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. government, we're eager to support, and we're eager to explore different types of opportunities to do so. Just looking to another example, fishing is a very important part of Tongan heritage and culture. We found out just the other day that a lot of the fishermen that go out to sea on the small boats, they might not have maritime safety equipment to tell the safety crews where they are if their vessel has any issues. So we're looking to actually provide the Tongan government with that maritime safety equipment so that the artisanal fishermen can go out and fish in safety. These are just a few examples, but Stella, I want to go back to one thing that you mentioned about just the level of interest from East Palo Alto. The embassy is just one building. A city is an entire city full of people. Take Kalofa'o, take East Palo Alto. I think a lot of the initiatives that people are working on both sides really align with the initiatives that we're working on from the embassy perspective. looking at technology, for example, I mean, we're lining up to invest tens of millions of dollars in technology here in Tonga, connecting the island to subsea cables and getting proper data centers and all of that. But at the same time, the Crown Princess and her delegation, she's going to meet with a lot of companies that are actually based out of East Palo Alto. So I think that's a fascinating opportunity to link what's happening at the municipal level with all of the other levels of government. And it really brings more people together working towards the same common end result. So it's a wonderful reason to be pursuing these types of relationships.
Thank you so much. And I do recall when we started having this conversation about, I would like to say 2 and a bit years ago, some of the ideas that came forward from those who were a little bit more knowledgeable about such sister city partnerships was to, first of all, for example, ensure that there's a level of parity between the two cities. It was already evident at the time that East Palo Alto was very much enthused and ready to lock into a sister city partnership with a city in Tonga. And so, in fact, this is their first sister city partnership. So we are just so excited about that and thrilled. But the other issue that I was mindful of, it seemed to ring in the back of my mind, is sustainability. And so, there's always this idea that there really is no point in establishing a sister city partnership if you can't foresee that it's going to continue to perpetuity, because we don't just do these things for the nice formality of signing and then we just leave it there, right? But like I said, I really think that the stars are aligned, and it's exciting that we've managed to converge for mutual areas of interest, which you've just kindly identified. And so we are really, I've seen the program, and these organizations that they're going to be visiting next week are very much tailored to the areas of mutual interest to the people of Tonga and America. So, I mean, I don't know how long you've been serving there in Nuku'alofa, but we certainly hope that you will be there for longer so that we can see this pan out, this new initiative. And, I know that the excitement is definitely in the air. So I think for the part, a lot of people may be listening to our program today because of that curiosity. But I was wondering if there was anything else that you wanted to mention, because growing up in Tonga, that's what I wanted to say. We were very much aware that we've always had friendly relations with the United States, and even dating back to my grandfather, who is now passed on. But in the time of World War II, when that's one of the means of our very close cooperation is the defense cooperation, which has just gone on for years, and always the connotation of the U.S. military having joint defense exercises in Tonga or abroad. It has always been very much a key part of the friendly relations between our countries. And we are very grateful for that. Things like helping rebuild government primary schools, halls, city halls, towns halls, after especially the devastating effects of natural disasters. These are things that are synonymous with Tongan people growing up. And in addition to that, of course, is the very well established Peace Corps volunteer program. And we've always known U.S. Peace Corps, out and about in the villages, helping, either teaching the language or whichever areas they've been providing support. I mean, I'm more than half a century old, and I can remember since I was very young, as I'm sure Emily does, who's hosting us on this radio program. Peace Corps has always been around. And I think another form that just comes to mind is more visual ways in which people are very relatable to the definitive assistance that's provided by the U.S. government and other avenues is, for example, through the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. It's very visible to the eye of the missionaries who come in and do their great work and out and about spreading the good word. But, these are just some of the things that kind of ring to my mind. I'm thinking that I think people out and about at the grassroots level are very aware of it. But of course, as you've mentioned, there's a great work at the bilateral level and certainly at the regional level, where the US government injects an incredible amount of money into regional organizations that support areas of mutual interest. For example, the maritime safety and also fishing. And of course, the environment is very much at the forefront of the concerns for small island states like Tonga. But certainly technological innovations and of course AI here, as you know, in the United States is huge. So we are exciting about your reminder about technology, and that was one of the reasons why East Palo Alto was just a given. Really, it is the door to Silicon Valley, and so I don't know what your thoughts about that are.
So I want to react a little bit first about the this notion of longevity of sister city relationships. I think that based on the demographics of East Palo Alto and Kalofa'o, it's really baked into the arrangement. I think that if you mentioning the shared values, the shared religion, the Tongan Americans that call East Palo Alto home now, but all have family back in Tonga, there are real sisters in Tonga and in East Palo Alto. This is, for me, I mean, like you mentioned, a grassroots relationship that is really going to build up and continue to develop over time. It's not just we're announcing a sister city relationship just to have a delegation visit somewhere and announce it. It's a true friendship. And I think it's really a formalization that's something that's been happening for quite a long time. And you also mentioned our strong military cooperation. I think that it is a very, very strong military cooperation. And from time to time, we have our American vessels coming through the region. They'll make a stop in Tonga. They'll do a bit of training. Maybe they'll help enforce some maritime safety laws. And we actually have a vessel coming up next week. So it is a very strong relationship in the defense space. And I think that also speaks to the bilateral relationship, the strength of the bilateral relationship. If we're brothers and sisters or brothers at arms in war, something like that, I mean, as you mentioned, it all goes back, I mean, decades, maybe even a century, a close relationship there. And Peace Corps, I think that we from the American Embassy, we have a lot of catching up to do with Peace Corps. Every time I'm walking around, oh, are you with Peace Corps? No, I'm with the embassy. But trust me, I will one day earn the great reputation that Peace Corps has here in Tonga, working out in the villages, teaching at schools. And I think that a lot of our relationships, they can expand in ways that you don't really think. When I first arrived here, we actually had a group of Seabees from the American military's engineering corps, and they were here over a 6-month period. They were renovating a schoolroom at Atele. So people would normally think, oh, the military, they're going to go build a wharf and fuel reserves. Maybe we'll do that too. But yeah, schoolroom at Atele, out there working hand in hand with the students and then making sure that everybody has tools to work in that space as well. So I think it's just a really, really strong relationship, really great relationship.
Yes, thank you so much. And I'm also just remembering because Tonga did support the United States. I won't say the year because I'm not quite sure about that, but we did support America with the Coalition for the Willing in Afghanistan. And that, I believe, was the impetus for, first of all, getting the pilot project for allowing consular visits from the US Embassy in Fiji to Tonga every quarter. And I think that kind of opened the door and laid the foundation. Fast forward to where we are now having the US Embassy present in Nuku'alofa. And that's just really a dream come true. And at the same time, it shows that there are progressive, positive steps going forward since, I would like to say the past 20 years in particular, to really solidify and try and intensify the good work between our countries. And, I think sometimes, it might seem irrelevant as such to try and compare like what can Tonga offer to the United States of America, which is, a big country, an economic might, and, with so many more people and things. But I do believe that the intentionality to share cultural heritage and have a better understanding. And I think oftentimes we have to remind ourselves, for example, when we are at in the international level, and for example at the United Nations, and like we all at the end of the day have one vote. So I'm just really very grateful to you for making the time to join me today, and to have this discussion. And I know it will probably be remiss of me, but I just have to, I'll touch very briefly on it, because in recent times, and quite rightly so, the US government, and I believe I've heard our Lord Prime Minister even mention that, there have been, of course, new, I would like to say, immigration tweaks from the United States, whereby Tonga has to fine-tune certain things going forward from here, which I believe we are working very vigorously behind the scenes. The related ministries, which includes, of course, His Majesty's Diplomatic Services, which hosts the Immigration Division. Certain things that we need to upgrade to international standards in terms of our travel documents, and certain other things that we need to work on. But I think where there is a will, there is a way, and certainly the door, it hasn't been closed outright, but we are working on that. And so that on that note, I know that the delegation was extremely grateful that it was possible for the State Department to make a unique consideration to allow the delegates to get special visas in order to facilitate their visit here. But they are all really super excited. We have, of course, representation from the town, Folau town councils, and I think this is a really great way to build up local government. And there will be exchanges with the city of East Palo Alto, and I think sharing of work experiences will be very helpful in order to establish Folau, and certainly it should pan out to other local governments in Tonga of a whole. But perhaps I'll give the floor back to you if you'd like to make any comments on that.
No, certainly. And I want to talk a little bit about the military cooperation first with Afghanistan. So I was just at a Memorial Day service the other day, and I was asking a Tongan soldier what his medals meant. He said, this meant I served in Afghanistan. Afghanistan? This is basically like I'm talking to an American soldier here. So it really does show the very close relationship. And I think that having the embassy here is one good step. In terms of the kind of the immigration tweaks that you'd mentioned, there's a few things that I want to say there. The first message is I think there's something that everybody can do here. It most importantly, do not overstay visas. So some of these tweaks were driven statistically by looking at people from different countries, and if they were granted permission to stay in America for 3 months and they stayed in 4. That's going to change the different deviation there and lead to some of these tweaks. But we're working really hard to get that back to where it used to be, so that it was so that travel can be more easily facilitated. But on that, I'll just say, if you have any questions there, please consult travel.state.gov, and you can also reach out to Tonga NIV. That's non-immigrant visa, Tonga NIV, at state.gov with any specific questions. But I think it is very important that if you wish to travel as a student, you should apply for a student visa. If you wish to be working in the United States, you need to apply for a work visa. And it's very, very important to take into consideration the amount of time that the officer at the border says you can stay in the United States and leave before that time period. If you want to come back because you have a sister or brother or parents or something there, we also have immigrant visas that you can apply for from Tonga, and that would set somebody up for a legal long-term residence in the United States.
Thank you so much, Jesse. I really appreciate your allowing us at least to touch on that and to clarify. And I think please let Devin know when he returns that we are super grateful for the initiative to have bi-weekly meetings about this issue and other issues, which really keep us all in the know and in the loop. And I think this opening of doors to do that has been very helpful. As we've mentioned, it's been important for us also to play our part via the media to get that news out. And we were very fortunate that we had one of the ministers from Cabinet who was visiting recently on her way back from the United Nations, the Minister of Internal Affairs, and it was great. We did a couple of radio program series on this very radio station in which we shared the same information. We had very supportive here from the consulate here in the Bay Area to ensure that we help the Tongan diaspora here with their travel documents or any advice on this matter. So please know that we are also trying to play our part on that. So I'm really grateful again that you touched on that area. But maybe we'll allow our gracious host, Emily, if you don't mind, just in case she had any questions or anything to share back, after hearing what we've just been talking about. Emily, over to you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you, Mr. Jesse from the U.S. Embassy for all those very informative information that you just informed us. I would just like to highlight on the importance of empowering and enriching the local government in Tonga. As everybody knows, local government in Tonga is the foundation of the government. And when they are having this partnership with the local government here in East Paloato, it's mainly empower them more. So when, like for example, this event, when they come and see what's going on and how the local East Paloato Council is working and how they do this, that will help them go back to Tonga and, and that's empower them. So that's program itself is not only helping the community, but the system of how they do works in their own little council, town council. So I believe, Mr. Chessie, that this program will definitely empower the community, the system, how they do things back home. I was just wondering if this is an open door for other communities to do a sister city, not only here in California, but any other states in America in the future. Thank you.
I was just waiting for you to ask that question. I might only have one sister, but the more people I meet here, I found it's pretty uncommon to have just one sister in Tonga. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to establish similar relationships with cities throughout America, in cities in Tonga. But there's always one thing that's going to, that I have to say here. East Palo Alto is always going to be the first one. So does that make it the father's oldest sister? And does that have any importance in a sister city relationship? I don't know.
And I think that really, I think coincides very nicely with, as you've been there, you live there in Nuku'alofa right now, because family is really important in the Tongan culture. And so I think when we say sister city, it really warms the heart, certainly of the Tongans and certainly for others. It's about friendship. And, I often think, because people ask me here, non-Tongans, what is there in Tonga? What is the basis for the economy and so forth? And it's very hard sometimes, to place the island kingdom because, when you compare it to a big country like America, it's in terms of size, it's certainly different. But I always say to them in recent times, I say, we do have sun, sand, and beach, like many island countries. And, I think if you're looking for a certain type of tourism experience, you might go to certain other countries. But if you want to go to perhaps a more organic and grassroots level tourism experience, certainly Tonga might be for you. But I think it's true to say, Jesse, that I think I have realized that one of the assets of Tonga is her people. And I would like to say, sorry, without blowing our own horn, if I may say so, the Dutch navigator, Captain Cook, I don't think he was Dutch, I think he was British, when he did visit, and there's a funny story behind that, I'll share that with you some other time, but I think he wasn't remiss when he called Tonga the Friendly Islands. And so it's really our people. I think that is really what is key to being a kingdom, and if you really want to make us stand out, and I think hopefully you agree with me. And so when we disperse globally, I find it's very nice. Nowadays, I've heard our leadership always coining when they come and speak to the people, the diaspora here in New Zealand, Australia, and America, and thanking them for all the help, as that they continue to send back to the motherland through remittances and sending crates full of good stuff, and they thank them and they say, thank you for not forgetting Tonga, but that in fact, these communities, these pockets of Tongans who live abroad are really, we say in Tongan, they're whakalahi. It is an extension of Tonga. They become an extension of our island kingdom. And so that's a really mighty force because, as you know, in terms of the economy, remittances really play a big part from I think thank you so much, Emily, for that very good question. So it's obviously going to strengthen local governance to another level, which will hopefully be able to support the Lord Prime Minister and his government and the Prime Minister's office. Right, Emily?
Right, yeah. It's very true, Stella. And we need that. Tonga need, yes, of course, the government we need to enrich them, and you guys talk about it, but sometimes we need to empower and enrich the local government too. Because the more powerful they are and the better system they will use, the better it is, because they are the one in the grassroots for the majority of the people. Yeah, So I believe that this engagement that you're doing with East Palo Alto, I hope that those town council will capture the way East Palo Alto do things in the city council. So when they go back home, then they will empower using those experiences that they had. And we wish for more engagement with the local government. Because the stronger the local government, the better it is to engage with the government, and the better it is the system as a whole. That's just my thinking process right now. But I will definitely with our Radio Tonga will follow up and ask the local government and also the Golofo Town Council to share their experience. Because the more they share their experience, the better it is for other town council to see the best they'll get out of this. If they won't share their experience, they will stay within their own community. But we want to spread it out for the Tongans. You never know, maybe Hunga community would like to sister city with New York. So, but this is an open door, and it's so exciting. Thank you so much, Mr. Jason and Stella.
Thank you so much, Emily. And I think maybe for the benefit certainly of Emily with the radio station, and for the role of the media is so key in our work these days, Jesse. I think more than ever before. And I was wondering, maybe I'll invite both of you, perhaps Jesse first and then Emily, if I might, just to say a few words to that, how the media and the use of different technologies, you're utilizing that in order to reach out to communities and targeted audiences.
Yes, so certainly. First of all, I want to mention something that you mentioned a little bit earlier. I'm actually really, really happy to be here in Tonga, and I've extended my tour due to specifically the warmth of the Tongan people. I'm here with my young family, and back to the shared values. I mean, there are shared values here that many Americans would appreciate. So could be serving anywhere in the world, but I've chose Tonga and I want to stay here for a long time. So off the bat there, um, speaking a bit about media and the importance of engagement, people do consume media in different ways. I mean, some people listen to the radio, some people read. Social media is becoming ever more important. But I do think it is important to get messaging out. People need to be able to hear authentic voices. They need to be able to hear what is happening. And it's so important these days because you want to make sure that it's not just the loudest voice in a town hall that's getting heard, but a variety of different voices, and that everybody's able to have free speech and getting messages out there. So, with that, I'd like to thank the media, thank Emily and her team for really helping get messages out there, talk to people, communicating with people, bringing in different people to share their messages as well. Because at the end of the day, democracies are founded on the voices of the people, and you need to be able to get messaging out there so that people can talk and take everything into consideration.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I know you have your website, which is very useful, and of course we're using this medium to do our radio program. But Emily, maybe you would like to speak to that. This is your line of work.
Thank you, Sarah and Jesse. Well, we started radio back in 2010, and we I can say here in the United States, we are the only radio station. And when I say radio, it goes through phone application. You know, nowadays there's a radio, the phone application. We don't transmit on FM and AM. So we just use phone application, website, and stream on social media and YouTube at the same time. But that's very true. We can see that people are hungry for information wherever it is, especially our Tongan community, not only here in America, but in Australia and other places. They're hungry for information, like information that you just share with us, information from the government, information from the local government, information from church. You know, they're hungry for that. And that's why we're still here. We're trying to do as much as we can do. And we're so thankful also, during the COVID-19, we started a good relationship with the counties in some of the states here in America. They use us as a channel to our Tongan community in the U.S. to channel down information about COVID-19 and all those kind of things, you know. But we hope, we just hope in the future that it's going to be more for our Tongan community, so they can be fed with all the information that they have the right to have, you know, and it does enrich them as well. Yeah, but Sarah, maybe that's all I can say now. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Emily. And I think...
sorry, Sarah. I think Sione want to say something.
Yes, sorry to get in, but I'm so interested when the embassy from Tonga said it is important for real people to talk about real issues. And I think that's important instead of just shooting out banners or pictures or ideas or whatnot. But I think when we sit down and have a real conversation, I think that make a big difference for each and every Tongan across the world, whether they're here in the United States, but also for those in those other countries. And I realize how the dynamic of travel had been changed dramatically, whether it's political or whatever it is, but we all know where it comes from. But it really changed a lot of things. How bad it is? Basically, the answer for what I know, that it is really bad because a lot of people cannot really travel because of all the restriction. And I'm trying to figure out if there any way that you guys can help easy it out for everybody because of all the game plan, even conferences, even a lot of important meetings have changed because of that. But I was just kind of add on to see if you can say a light on that. I'm sorry to get in, Sarah, but I'm just trying to add on to this conversation. I think it's important.
Thank you, Sione. So Sione is CEO of the radio program, Jesse, and I think, I know you've kindly reiterated or iterated what needs to be done and what people need to be more mindful of, and I think it's the same for all countries in terms of their immigration policies. They are to be adhered to, and I think for certain part, certainly there, I sense that we need to change our line of thinking in terms of, I think sometimes, coming to the United States, it's like coming to the promised land. There's an irony in saying that. And you know what I mean? And in fact, I was speaking with the ambassador from recently, and, it's economic. Looking for the opportunities. But at the same time, you kind of reminded us, there are certain visa categories for the purposes to travel to the United States. Visiting, students, and religious, even for, the pastors and so forth. So we just need to adhere and to be more mindful that there are certain conditions to these opportunities to travel to the United States for Tongan citizens. But I don't know if you want to. I think Sione, in a sense, was just thinking, was just thinking out aloud, but I don't know if you had anything to add to what you already shared with us, which was quite clear.
No, so I just want to say I know that there's a hunger for information, and our goal at the embassy is to be the Oteika of information here and really getting the message out as best we can. But I think looking past this in looking towards kind of a system that would make it easier to facilitate travel, it's really important, I think, to really just channel that do not overstay message at the moment. And Stella mentioned the working group that we have between both governments. I mean, it's really from the top down at both governments that we are working together to get Tonga statistically in a category that would allow, I think, things to function a bit more as they had in the past. But it's really a matter of everyone doing their part. So if you want to go visit a cousin or a sister, it's important that you only stay for that amount of time and then return. I know that talking about that now, when it is more difficult to get a visa in some cases, seems a bit off, but it is still important to do in result. And I think the different visa categories, they can be confusing. I mean, I've had family go through applying to one category or another, but I really would encourage people that when they're looking to travel to America to look at travel.state.gov. And as Stella was mentioning, we have so many different visa categories. I think there's maybe 50 of them. And determining what category you wish to travel on, and then traveling on that visa that matches with what you intend to do there. And as people align towards doing that, staying within that amount of time that they're permitted, that's going to really open it up again to make it easier, I think, for everybody. And this is something that we're looking at globally right now. It's not just Tonga. It's globally, it's statistically driven, and we do still share the strongest bilateral relationship, as evidenced by this and many other things that we're doing right now.
I agree. Sione, I hope that has answered your question of sorts. And I think by Jesse joining us today, he's opened the door for us to have sister discussions further, whether it's by radio program again or otherwise in the future. But I think we'll begin to wrap up because I'm mindful of Jesse's time and also the radio time. But we are very grateful for the blessing that Crown Princess is the patron of this new Sister City initiative from the Tongan side, and I hope that this indicates to the US government just how serious we are taking this wonderful opportunity. And, I was just recalling also, Jesse, that I'm very excited that Lavinia from the embassy there in Tonga, who is with us, and we're very grateful to you and Devon for allowing her to join as part of the delegation and report back and just be a liaison, that there is another Fulbright scholar in the pipeline. And so I'm really, really happy that this initiative or this track, good for Sione and Emily to know. I mean, Fulbright scholarships, a very high-level educational avenue, and for Tonga to be accessing this, in particular, in recent years, I've had the great privilege to meet one or two of the recent Fulbright scholars, and like I said, there's one in the pipeline. So this is just further testament to the close relations that we're really trying to nurture. But again, as we close off and I summarize, we really thank you, Jesse, for your time. We are grateful to the US government for the hierarchy for really locking in and supporting us on this. And to the city of East Palo Alto and the mayor, their intentionality is very clear. They've actually positioned a global outreach officer, I believe that's the name of her position, via Tonga Victoria of Pamango, who's actually a first-generation Tongan, and she's been very key on the ground and working very closely with Lavinia at the embassy and myself. So this is really exciting. The people that are representing from the Kolofo'o, the Crown Princesses, Kolofo'o City Council are also very intentional, and so we pray for the wind and the alliances to be with us for the remainder of the week. But we thank you also to the Radio Vake Tali Folau. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and it's good that Jesse has met you. So in future, if ever you need to do any further media outreach here in America, this is the medium to go by. And so on that very high note, Malo Alpito to everybody, and watch this space, Jesse. There's lots of exciting things we hope to report, and thank you once again.
Thank you, Stella, and thank you, Mr. Border. Appreciate the opportunity to part of these short programs so we can share something that interests our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ofatu.
Ofatu, and don't eat too much Lucipi, okay? I know that's your favorite, but I'm just saying, just eat a little bit. Ofatu.